As Mike said, I've known Mike for about 40 years now, and he's a friend of mine. And I'm not only an author, but a Bible teacher and a pastor. And I know that when God has put certain things on my life where I have a grace, where I understand something, and when I teach it and people come under it, they get the same grace that God's put on my life. In other words, what God has taught me that's been able to give me breakthrough, they learn it and they get the same breakthrough. And I have for many years, when I've been in a place of business or a place of, I could tell some great stories here, but I'm not going to take the time. I know you're at the end of the call, Mike, and you know some of the stories I could tell, but where I phone Mike up because I know he has an incredible grace on his life for what he does, for sales, for teaching sales, for negotiation, for business. And so when I've gotten stuck, the person I phone is Mike. And he always, he'll go to prayer on something I've been praying about for weeks. It's like, why didn't I just phone Mike earlier? You know, and because of that grace that's on him in this area, he goes to prayer and he's got the answer in 5 minutes. And it works out every time. So one of the reasons why we're connecting here again is because I'm asking him some questions. I've learned, okay? But I want to say to everybody on this call, if you haven't, I don't know, Mike, maybe you've done this already, but when you get into a situation where you're stuck, and I've done this before, because you're in this class, because you've bought into and you're come under the grace of God that's on Mike, you can ask God for that grace in the moment. And I've seen Mike work where it's like he's doing in you ask him a question, he just has the answer. I've seen him do that in a boardroom where he just has the answer because the Spirit of God just gives it to him in a minute. And if you guys know that and recognize that grace that's on him, you can have the same grace on you when you're right in the middle of that call, right in the middle of that sale, and you're going, I don't know what to do. I wish Mike was here. Well, actually, the same grace, because you're being taught by him, the same grace from God that's on him is there. And you can, with confidence and faith, pray in that moment inside you and say, Lord, I need help. I need the grace that's on Mike. And you'll be amazed at what comes on you in that moment. And I've seen it. Some of the successes in my life have been because of the things that I've learned from Mike. And I go on to use those things, and the Lord reminds me of them and helps me in that moment. So I just want to encourage everybody here. I know you all know Mike's amazing. He is. Been his friend for 40 years. He's the real deal. He's amazing. But the grace that's on his life, I want to encourage you guys, that same grace can come over on your life. You don't have to struggle with this. You've got him as a teacher. It's not just a matter of learning it all here. You can receive the grace and it'll become something that's easy for you like it is for Mike.